really getting in touch with the powerful goodness of our practice and all our sincere effort in this last week, which has, for all of us, borne fruit of some sort or another. So rejoicing in this opportunity to practice together and rejoicing for each other that we can all do this together. I'll close with a chant at the end of 5 minutes or so. Aditya vivajantu sabaroko vinasatu mate bhavatwantarayo sukhi digayuko bhava abhivadanasili sani chamuda pachayino chattaro dhamma vadanti ayuvano sukham bhava. So I am almost out of words. And anyway, silence is so much more powerful than language. And you all understand for yourselves the power of this practice in ways that don't require language to express. And both in this retreat and in your practice, your general practice, and from previous retreats, I know most of you understand the balance of doing a guided retreat like this and practicing in your lives. So you don't need to hear it for the 100th time. But what I want to emphasize, seeing as this is my last chance in this retreat, is the power of repeating this inclination, no matter what. Because the world is increasingly difficult and complicated and painful for all of us. And each of us every day is exposed to something. I mean, either in our own lives or reading the news that causes dosa to arise on account of the way the world is, or causes grief to arise, or fear, anxiety. These are natural responses, but it's not beneficial to feed them. The Brahma Viharas, Metta, Karuna, Mudita, and Upekkha, these are also natural responses, and they are worth feeding. And as we've seen all week, Mudita in particular is an antidote to dosa, to jealousy, to envy, to that particularly poisonous kind of judgment about people who have something we think is way too much. And we may have old habits, cynicism, and just getting really stuck into all that dosa. Because mudita balances us. It forces us, if we take it up and take it as a really, take it up in a heartfelt way as a practice, it forces us to look at good things that are happening for other people in the world, not always to see everything that's wrong. And this isn't like, Monty Python, always look on the bright side of life. It's not like that. Honestly, when I first encountered the Mudita practice, I had a huge reaction about it because that's what I thought it was. Or at least that's what the dosa was telling me it was, but it isn't. It's rebalancing. So it brings a lightness to the metta, and it prevents compassion from falling into that near enemy of grief. So when we have both compassion and mudita, this is a naturally balanced state. And we can cultivate that moment to moment to moment, even when we're walking down the street. A few of you were coming online to the Mudita retreat that I had in Belgium in November. So you will have heard this story before, but I'll tell it anyway. Because it taught me so much about mudita in daily life that it really surprised me, this experience. Heidi and I were walking down the street in a sizable town near where we were having the retreat. And an ambulance went by, with a siren going, and it was going to a nearby heart hospital, a cardiac hospital. And my normal response to an ambulance going by is like, oh, that person's life is being turned upside down right now. It's compassion and sometimes going more to the grief side. But we had been cultivating mudita, and I noticed the very first response was, oh, how fortunate for that person. They have a decent ambulance. There are people in there helping them. There's a hospital just a block away. They're going to, this is Belgium, not Myanmar. How wonderful. It was very powerful for me because I really, really could see their good fortune, even though They were probably having the worst day of their life. And this connection that comes when we open in that way is not naive, and it's not, just, oh, how happy I am for them. It was really in touch with the compassion. But it was noticing as well as the challenge, it was noticing what they had that was beneficial, what they had that was very good fortune. So in our daily life, in addition to all the many ways we can bring moments of practice, specific practice into that, we can also just make it a habit to notice good fortune. And we can notice this if we're walking down the street, if we're reading the news. We read a news story and it's always bad news is what sells. But in that bad news, there are little glimmers of good fortune that they don't even mention, but you can see that whoever is involved, it's not all awful. And even in the very worst of circumstances, there is something. I could tell you stories about what I'm noticing here in Myanmar right now. What is happening is heartbreaking and heart opening as well, because there is so much beauty as well as darkness. Excuse me, my phone just tells me I'm running out of data. Give me a moment, please. I'll wait to tell the stories when I can tell them in person. It's safer. But what I can express freely is the mutual support of people here is very, very touching. So in the midst of tragedy, there are helping hands. This is good fortune. There will always be darkness in this world. I was going to use another word, but there will always be darkness in this world. It's so real. It's our job to bring light to that. And we begin with our practice, our daily life. So in the midst of the darkness, do all you can to notice good fortune and let that work its own magic. And do all you can to notice good fortune, especially where you find it difficult. It's so, so helpful. Without that balance, it's much, much easier to go to seriously unwholesome mind states about the way the world is and the way other people are. This stretches us, this challenges us. That's how we reach Nibbana, by being challenged. No practice is meant to be comfortable. Not any of the Brahma Vihara practices, not Vipassana practice. But connecting in your own experience with things that you're grateful for, and about other beings, connecting with their success, their good fortune, and our well-wishing for them in the face of that, is an essential balance. So I'll transmit once again those beautiful words of encouragement from the Sayadaws, which are, please continue. Just keep going no matter what. And I really look forward to seeing some of you in April, some of you in May, in person. So thank you so very much for your sincere practice this week. It's just been very beautiful. And I want to turn the microphone over to all of you. We have about an hour left, or 55 minutes, 50 minutes, so that we can have some time for chanting at the end. About 50 minutes left for sharing. So sharing about the beauty of what your heart is opening to right now, what you have seen in the practice, what you want to share with each other, whatever wants to be voiced right now in this moment. We won't have time for everybody, but anybody who wants to say something, please feel free. It's so precious, isn't it? This space we share. It's really, really, there are no words, really. And so many of your words really resonated with me as well. That's my experience too. Particularly wanting to echo what you said, Tia, about the beautiful, sincere, humble honesty and just beauty of this group. I feel very at home here too, and I'm also obviously not Italian. And to rejoice in our communal good fortune, our communal spiritual joy. It's just, there's nothing better. And that we can gather like this from time to time, either in a retreat or in an in-person retreat or once a month. It's just, it's immense good fortune. So all good things, good and not so good, but all good things do end. And the ending of things opens the door for the beginning of other things. And what the door that's opening now as we close this online retreat is this ongoing deepening in this practice, this habit of bringing light into our own hearts and light into the world. So I want to formally close the container of this retreat and open the container of the next retreat by chanting the 5 lay Buddhist precepts plus the metta precepts, so 6 precepts altogether. And I see we need to give Donatella a rest because she's been working very hard for a while. So
okay.
So really taking these in, the preciousness of these, the beauty of these, the right effort of this, that just inclines over and over and over again to the wholesome. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhang saranam gacchami. Dhammang saranam gacchami. Sanghang saranam gacchami. Dutiyampi Buddhang saranam gacchami. Dutiyampi Dhammang saranam gacchami. Dutiyampi Sanghang saranam gacchami. Tatiyampi Buddhang saranam gacchami. Tatiyampi Dhammang saranam gacchami. Tatiyampi Sanghang saranam gacchami. Panatipata Veramani Sikapadang Samadhiyami. Adinadana Veramani Sikapadang Samadhiyami. Kamesu Michachara Veramani Sikapadang Samadhiyami. Musawada Veramani Sikapadang Samadhiyami. Sura Meraya Majapamadana Veramani Sikapadam Samadhiyami. Metta Sahagatena Chetasa Sabhavantam Lokam Haritva viharami idam me silam magga palanyanasa pachayo otu sadhu sadhu